Well, my name is Tomeaka Fladger, and I'm from Berkeley County. I went to Stratford and graduated at a year that I will not discuss. And well, I was doing that like where you don't, So then went on to University of South Carolina, where I got a degree in sociology, and followed that up with a master's degree in human resources from Rutgers University. And so I've spent 10 years in human resources, followed by now it's going on 7 years in workforce development. And workforce, as I like to call workforce development, is the poor, working with the poor, being poor while working with the poor to help them find employment and resources. And so I enjoyed doing that. I didn't anticipate that. I didn't even understand workforce development when I got into it, but I discovered that I was passionate about trying to help people find employment. I love the aspect of training people and talking about finding employment and resources, and trying to inspire people to want to do more with their lives, and helping them to move to a different level, especially helping those who do have responsibilities that they need to take care of, and so they do need to definitely find employment, and oftentimes better employment than they presently have. Well, I never even thought about starting my own business. However, with the work that I do presently, I felt that there something was lacking. It's very much okay. In my, for example, I worked for a government grant program. Let's just say that. And what I found is you're putting people into training, but in the back of your mind that they're not going to take that and run with it. There's not a lot of focus on, okay, is this person ready for it? Should we be doing a lot more training? We just kind of say, oh, that person wanted to be a CNA, and we just let them go into it, and then they find out they actually don't like it. Those kinds of things. And so I was like, wow, okay, there's some other things that we can be doing with individuals to really help them discover what it is that they want to do. And then as I moved into another particular role, that one really got to me in that I would lead trainings, orientation, so to speak, and I often had people just kind of zoning out. One even like wore the headset the whole entire day. The whole entire time. Some were, of course, really respectful, but you could tell that they were like, okay, I'm not, nothing's going to happen as a result of this, because guess what? I don't have transportation. And so it's a valid excuse. However, I wanted to turn that around. I wanted to be able to say, okay, now we've solved that particular problem. Tell me why you can't find employment now if we've solved that particular aspect. And so that's where the passion came to start that particular business, Thumbajob, which is a job board with a rideshare feature, because I saw in my daily work how important the transportation feature or focus transportation was as an impediment to people being able to move forward. And so I then began to search on the web. I guess I became a techie, like nosy person, just trying to explore technology to see if there was any things out there. And I got hooked on the idea that you could just, attempt to do something that you were passionate about, and found out that really entrepreneurs are really just people who want to solve a problem. Okay, of course they then learn to be business people, but initially that whole concept is really just finding an idea that you're passionate about, and then trying to figure out a solution to that problem. Well, I really believe that technology can be a bridge for individuals that are on our lower economic spectrum. It can open doors that have been previously closed to us, because one of the major focuses in this new economy is really on the whole notion of the collaborative economy, or the shared economy, where we are working together, we're building relationships with one another, and we don't even know each other. We're total strangers to each other, but we are focused on building relationships with each other. I was at Google Fest the first time it came into Charleston. I believe it was the first time, and I sat in a seminar, and it was called Generation C. Of course, we've got Generation X and we've got the millennial generation, but they said we're all participating in Generation C, and what that is it's connection, okay? And it's ageless, colorless, persuasionless, whatever you want to call it, because everybody has the ability to participate. There's a number of parents that have children that they put on the web and have channels and have made money, and of course got to put the children's money portion in a trust fund. But just the sheer fact that you can have a cooking show with your 5-year-old child is amazing to me. And so as I see what technology is giving us the ability to do, I really just want to start bringing that into some of the economic social classes that have not been previously a part of the American dream. And so when I think about Thumbajob, what I see Thumbajob's purpose is to help people find employment along the natural commute of members of their social networks. We all know somebody that we could possibly ask to ride with, and so what this does is allows them to, the individual who does not have transportation right now, gives them the opportunity to really zero in on jobs that that individual does have the potential to drive them. They can then target the employers that person's going to pass every day on their natural commute. So we're not asking the driver to go out of their way or anything like that. They would just naturally be going to work, and just happen to drop someone off at a employer. And so I see that as being able to then move people forward in our economy. Gosh, there was something else I was going to say about that. Basically, with individuals who do not have adequate transportation, they often struggle with job boards like Monster and Indeed, because you kind of need to know if you can get there. Whereas this one, because we are connecting the driver as well as the employment piece together in one app or opportunity, they can then target what employers they need to really target, as opposed to just randomly filling out job applications for a place you might not be able to get to. But here, once you know that you found a potential driver, then you can kind of assess the potential employment opportunities that person passes, and then be able to successfully, hopefully, fill out job applications and hopefully get the job. But of course, there's no guarantees in life, but you would just then move on to another driver and see if, hey, maybe you can find employment along that person's route. So that's kind of the focus, is to help people get a starter job or a job that helps them reconnect with the job market, and then propel them to the next step. They can then, because they've rebuilt their employment history, they can then begin to find additional jobs that might be of interest to them. I really believe that Thumbajob is really the first of many apps to come from ATAP Web Solutions, which stands for All Things Are Possible, taken from Matthew 19:26, where it tells you, with God all things are possible. And I really look at where we are with technology as an extension there, where really we can now see it. Sometimes we haven't been able to see it before, and now we are at that stage where we're going to be able to begin to see how technology can propel us forward if we use it. And so I hope that Thumbajob will take off in our communities as well as communities for others. As well as others' communities. I really see it extending into the Southeast, hopefully, so that we can start helping some of those other states move up, definitely in some of the statistics that are out there that are very negative. And so wanting to then take that to other states for sure. And then also starting to work on some of the other things that plague those that are at the lower socioeconomic level. I really look at my company as one that really wants to solve problems that face everyday people. Oftentimes we have a lot of great apps, but they're focused on helping you find out that or helping you solve a problem that you didn't even know existed. Who knew that we wanted to stop jumping in yellow cabs in New York City until Uber came along? But I never thought it was a problem before then. So that's just what some of our other types of apps do. But I really want to focus on those that leave an impact and change lives.